soon got names like Thunder Thighs and was subject to constant, relentless teasing at school, especially from boys. This just made me sadder and hungrier, and I used food to deal with difficult emotions. One summer when I was around 13 or 14, I went to summer camp in America. I loved it. I made friends, got tan, played, swam, and did fun kid stuff. When I went back to school that fall, it felt like the whole school was talking about my summer at fat camp. It wasn't a fat camp. I was drinking real Coke and eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all summer. But I was also more active than usual and actually had fun, playing games and dancing and doing kid shit away from the school bullies. It was also 40 degrees Celsius, and we walked for miles a day back and forth to the fill-in station, seriously, on the other side of camp. I inevitably lost a few pounds, but unsurprisingly put it straight back on when I got home. Layer on well-meaning but painful comments from parents and family. Can't you just have a piece of fruit or some chewing gum? Your skirt is riding up at the back. You're too big for it. It's just puppy fat. She'll grow out of it. Plus dieting talk all around me, messages that fat was bad, and a tall, athletic brother. And what do you get? A recipe for food fucked upness. At around 16, I started restricting what I ate and intentionally got very active. I lost a lot of weight. My new thinness was congratulated and reinforced. Boys were suddenly interested, the same ones who had called me Thunder Thighs. This carried on through university, but my eating got weirder. I started reading books on nutrition. Not academic texts, which would have been great, but fear-mongering, spirulina peddling type books. I told you I was laying out all my shit. Now instead of just limiting how much I ate, I started cutting out more and more food groups until I was left with a salad and some tofu. This, coincidentally, was around the time I decided to go vegan, which was largely due to ethical reasons. But I also got it in my head that milk caused breast cancer. It doesn't. So then there was nothing left to eat. This restriction would almost inevitably lead me to sneaking out to get a dairy milk hit like a chocolate junkie. As we'll learn, deprivation often leads to binging. Fortunately, I snapped out of that phase pretty quickly. Tofu salads don't have anything on cold pizza on a drunken walk home with friends after a night out. But when shit hit the fan in my final year of uni, I gained a lot of weight. Stress eating was my thing. A few months later, I moved to the US to do my PhD, and this, combined with not walking anywhere and comfort eating. In Texas, anyone from not Texas is super foreign, and it took a while to make friends. Meant I was the biggest I'd ever been, and I hated myself deeply. The binge restrict cycle went on all through my PhD. Remember, I was studying nutrition. What the hell was I thinking? Breakups? Didn't eat. PhD exam stress? Ate too much. New cities and new jobs meant fluctuations in my weight. I hated my body. I hated tracking everything I was eating, only to ultimately faceplant into a jar of peanut butter at night. Remember, this is all confounded by being around nutrition and dietetic students, who on the surface of things have it all figured out, but many of whom were also struggling. Calorie counting, portion control, food rules, and a vendetta on bad carbs are not only normal, that's literally what we're taught, and many of us dutifully played the part. Underneath it all, though, the struggle was so real. Good thing, then, that I came across the concept of intuitive eating and the anti-diet movement. At first, I was skeptical, but after doing some research, I was like, holy shit, this is genius. I started reading blogs, books, and published research, and over time, I began to chill. I started eating what I wanted, when I was hungry. Wow, eating when you're hungry. Revolutionary. But you'd be surprised at how many people straight up ignore it. I exercised because it felt good, not because I needed to burn off my food. I stopped seeing food as a problem. My weight stabilized. Okay, I wasn't a size 8, but after years of restriction and overeating and beating myself up, this felt good. I didn't have to micromanage what I was eating, and it gave me the time and energy to do more interesting and important things. Look, I don't want this book to be all about me. It's not about me. It's about helping you feel less weird around food. But I just need you to know that I know what it's like to be in that place where your life revolves around food and weight and being hungry and eating 30 rice crackers to try and fill yourself up. And this isn't everyone's experience of studying nutrition, of course. I have a bunch of friends.